So I was making a joke there and I said, this side, Mosa Kala, Mosa Ifuna, you are here. When you are making a lot of money, first floor. So when you still want to make money, we are here, right? Cool. So are we all sorted? We are all just in the beginning stages. All right, great stuff. We're gonna have our presentation. So igama Xoliswa Moraka, and I'm just gonna ask that I mix somehow my language because English after 2 o'clock gets depleted. So please, it flies away, ne? So when I speak a bit of Zulu, please excuse me. Yo, no, I can't. So yeah, so igama Xoliswa Moraka. I'm an entrepreneur, and I also head up the entrepreneurship development portfolio for SAB Foundation. And I'm going to quickly share through our presentation and what the foundation is about so that I allow for us to engage, because I really don't like talking to myself. Make sense? Cool stuff. Now, briefly, the SAB Foundation is an independent trust that was set up by the big company, SAB Corporate or ABN Bev, and we operate as an independent trust. We were set up primarily to facilitate socio-economic transformation, particularly to facilitate inclusion, prosperity, and participation of people that have been previously disadvantaged from economic opportunities. Who are these people? Black people, women, youth, people living in rural communities, and people with disabilities. So we prioritize that, and we use entrepreneurship as a vehicle to facilitate the socio-economic transformation. Now, let's talk about where we are as a country, right? We talk about the triple threat challenges: poverty, unemployment, and inequality. That's our reality as South Africa. And if we are starting businesses, part of the solutions and part of our drive should be, how are we addressing, how are our businesses speaking to addressing these challenges that currently plague our country, right? And as a foundation for us, understanding this becomes then our drive and our intention to help and build entrepreneurs that can help us solve these challenges. We can go to the next slide. Now, I just want to give you a context, and I'm sure I don't want to bore you with statistics, but we all know this. We're a country that has over 60 million people. And in the room, it shows that 80% of the people in South Africa are black. And if we talk about the stats that we just, the statement that we just passed, poverty, unemployment, and inequality, who is mostly affected by that? It's us. Right? Which means us have to also be part of the co-creators of solutions. It means we also have to be deliberate about building businesses that can help us solve our own problems. Make sense? You are building businesses in the agriculture space purely because, one, you are solving your own issues, but you're also solving your market issues, and you are solving the country's issues. Makes sense? I mean, I'm not going to go through here, but we have been declared as one of the most unequal countries in the world. Telling of the type of people that we are and the type of environment that we are in. But going out and doing on the street is not going to solve. This is how we solve it. This is how we solve it, by building assets. Let's look at our businesses as assets. We can go to the next stage. Next slide, sorry. So now, solving these issues that we have identified, we have said entrepreneurship can be that catalytic driver. It can be that vehicle. And I agree, it can be. But there's a reality behind this entrepreneurship. Next slide. Stats. I'm sure you guys know the stats, right? 80% of new businesses will fail within the first 5 to 7 years. And this is a research that was done by the Western Cape. So if 10 of us are starting businesses this year in 2022, in 5 years' time, 8 of us will fail. Only 2 businesses will survive in 5 years' time. Does it make sense? 10 people are starting businesses in 2022. 5 years from now, 8 of those businesses will have failed. Only 2 businesses will have succeeded. Are you the 2% or the 2 that survives? 8 out of 10. Are you? Okay, so let's look at some of the reasons why businesses fail. We've looked at this and we've said there are 2 reasons why businesses fail. There are internal issues that affect businesses, and these are within your control. These are things that you can solve as an entrepreneur. They don't need money from somebody else. They don't need access to market from somebody else. They need you to solve. One of it, and I'll start with this one, is a whole lot of us are driven by the desire to make money, or we're seeing somebody succeed in their business and we say, akasimpali. So there's no higher purpose besides money of why you're starting your business. And when you don't have a higher purpose, when you're not just driven by money, but driven by something bigger than money, you're likely to fail. And this is something that you can control as an entrepreneur. Clarify your own purpose for building this business that has to go beyond making money. 2, there's no validated problem. Yes, you've started a business, and a whole lot of us, when you start businesses, we build a solution before we identify what problem are we trying to solve. So if you think about the space that you're in the agriculture space, what problems are you solving? Don't tell me about the solution. Tell me about what is the problem that you are trying to solve with your own business. A whole lot of us don't have that clarity. And we haven't validated whether or not there's a market willing to buy the services that we are selling. And we'll make excuses and say, it's because I don't have money. It's because I don't. But you haven't done a bit of research to say, am I in the right space? Am I in the right sector? Am I in the right product market for what I have in the spaces that I'm in, that people will buy what I am selling? Again, issues that we can solve internally, not externally. Because when you start solving these issues, you become very attractive to people that are willing to back you. But if you're not clear about your business, nobody's going to back you. I always say, as entrepreneurs, we need to put ourselves in the shoes of the people that we go to ask money from. If you were on the other side and you had the millions and the billions, and somebody had come to you with a half-baked idea that has not been validated, they have not done enough work to demonstrate that there's an opportunity worth investing in, would you put in your hard-earned money, not somebody else's? Let's say your company right now grows exponentially and it becomes the biggest company in South Africa, and you want to support other agriculture businesses, but people come in with half-baked ideas. Would you invest in them? It's your money. So think of other people's money as your money and say, would I invest in myself with this current business idea and this current level of my business? Make sense? So I'll give you a chance to kulume, because I'm not lashing out. I just want us to really be honest about where we are, but also to take accountability about how we start building better businesses, businesses that can grow and businesses that can survive beyond us. Because as Black people, we build businesses for the stomach, for today. When we die, sifanama businesses, bese bathi mufu dia mulatela ntho tsa hae ka Sesotho, or umuntu oshonile uhamba nezinto zakhe beyangasafuni ngazo. Angithi, there's nothing like that. We have not set up systems and processes to ensure that our businesses can be legacy businesses. And as Black people, we need to start learning how to. And these are platforms that we can start using to do so. Make sense? Again, you see these things. I'm not going to go into detail. Then the external issues are that side. These are not within your control. It's everything that's happening in the environment and affects your business. Political instability. 2024, we're going into elections. We don't know who's going to win. And already people are talking about vote this one out and vote this one in and all of those things. And whatever happens politically can affect businesses. But you as a business owner at this moment, the only thing you do is vote. There's nothing else that you can do to control what happens politically, right? You can control these parts, but it does have an impact on your business. What happens politically? So you also can't be divorced from politics as an entrepreneur and as a business owner. Not to say follow all the politics and the issues that are happening, but just be mindful and aware of what's happening politically in your environment that may and may not affect your business and how it grows. Access to market, capital, resources, networks for SMMEs. Yes, those things are important, but also remember they become external, because once you have figured out your business and you've set up your business quite well, you then start saying, who outside of my business can I start engaging and attracting and finding support, whether it's market support, whether it's finance support. But if you've got this other stuff sorted out internally, you stand a better chance of attracting those opportunities. Does it make sense? Natural causes, and I used COVID as an example. Who knew what 2020 would bring us? No one had planned. Even the billionaires of the billionaires did not know that COVID would hit and hit like that. There are big businesses, bigger than the businesses that we have in the room today, that had to close down because of COVID and could not even recover. So there are various natural causes. Flooding in KZN, for many of you guys who are in the agri space, were greatly affected, but there was no way you could have prepared for that flooding and say, you understand? It's natural causes, and these things are outside of your control. You can plan, you can take insurance, you can do whatever, but you really can't plan for the extent of the damage of some of these things that happen naturally. Market prejudice. And I talk about this because it happens in particularly for Black businesses, right? And we also do it to ourselves. How many of us buy from our own? Hi, but professional. That's prejudice. Hi, no, about deliver. If you have not bought and have not had that experience, you can't speak of it as if it's gospel. Does it make sense? So a whole lot of us, so I've worked in the corporate space and I've worked in various ESD portfolios. And one of the things that happens is that as a Black business in particular, when you come in, you carry the load of other Black businesses, because if you mess up, you mess up for all of us. When you mess up for all of us. The environment and the space is not friendly for mess up, especially because we are starting, we don't know what we don't know. So it is important that when you access opportunities, don't just think about now. Think about the opportunities that you're opening up for other people, because that's unfortunately the load that you carry. So you're not just making yourself successful, you're making it possible for the next person to come in. Because when we can see you from a corporate and procurement perspective, Black people succeeding, we can say, actually, we can take a chance on these people. Make sense? We have to back ourselves, guys. And unfortunately, women again, so we can talk about the prejudice. When you're a woman, can she do the job in the agriculture? So there's so many prejudices in the market that exist that can affect your ability to do business. But we can't let that stop us. We carry on and we move with the flow. So you being Black and you knowing that people will kind of discredit you because they think you don't know, shouldn't be the reason that you stop doing what you need to do. But also, let's also talk the truth. There is a level of truth in some of the things that people say about us. Namang. So let's check on ourselves and let's be accountable. When you say you will do something, do it. When you promise something, do it. Because when you don't do it, then you discredit all of us that are professional. And we never get the chance to then show our professionalism. Makes sense? I mean, unfavorable competitive landscape. We are coming in, you guys are emerging farmers or small farmers that are just starting out. You are already in a back foot because you are competing in an industry where there are big market players who can easily sweep you off. Right? Who can easily steal your ideas, who can easily do what they want to do because you are just a small fry. You are David in a Goliath story. But that again can't stop you. It exists. It's important to be aware of it, but it can't be the reason you stop doing what you want to do. And it can't be the reason that you stop building a business that is not just for you. It is for your family, it's for your community, it's for a legacy that you're building. Be mindful of it and put together strategies and plans that helps you navigate this environment. Monopoly, timing. Sometimes timing, guys. Like 20 years ago, when somebody would have come Gaudi Wi-Fi, like we're literally dependent on Wi-Fi right now. We are literally dependent on social media. But if you came 20 years ago and pitched a social media idea, no one would have backed you because no one understood. But now, social media and apps and all of those things are the in thing. Like literally every pitch deck that I see is an app of something. It makes sense now because that's what the market is looking for, right? So sometimes it's not that you're a failure in business, it's just because timing of your idea or your solution is not, it's just not right. Maybe it's right in another country. And another thing is we see something happening in another country and we want to be the first in the market to bring it to South Africa, and then South Africa is not ready for you. Then you spend years and years doing something that the market never buys. And if you're not in a business that's operating and generating revenue, you might be 5 years in that business, it's still an idea. 5 years in, if you're not generating revenue, still an idea. Until you have exchanged your value for money. And you've got repeatable customers that are buying what you're selling and you can kind of see the pattern. Not making money, idea. Make sense? Okay, move on. So what do we do? Understanding this market and understanding the challenges that entrepreneurs are facing, what does SAB Foundation then do to kind of support entrepreneurs in the space is we provide comprehensive business development support and funding. So we've got, and I'll take you to the next slide, but we provide business development support because it's important and it's necessary. A whole lot of us are starting businesses, but we are first generation entrepreneurs. There is no line of trend or history of people starting businesses that are geared for growth, geared for scale, geared for success in our businesses. My mom was an entrepreneur, but she was a survivalist entrepreneur. She baked for a living to put us through school, and that's it. The money that she made in her business was just to put food on the table. When you talk to her about how do we scale this business, how do we build, like it's foreign language. And the people that we're exposed to, most of us, are people that are actually building businesses like that, right? So how do we start looking, if you are now saying, I want a bigger picture, I have a bigger picture for my business, what's that trail? Where do we go to look at businesses that have built, black people that have built businesses for growth, businesses that are scalable? So we want to create that opportunity where we start learning the mindset, we start learning the tools and the methodologies of building a business that's geared for growth. We again provide funding, and I'll tell you more about it because that's all entrepreneurs want. They want money. So as SABF, we positioned ourselves as entrepreneurship development thought leaders because we have been doing this work for since 2010. And we've got stories and we've got case studies of businesses that have participated in our program. So it's not a ticket box exercise. So what's nice about us is because we've got the mother company, SAB, they've got their enterprise and supply development programs that are geared obviously to supporting businesses that are in our sector. But as SAB Foundation, we are sector agnostic. We support across businesses. We also work in partnership with various government agencies, corporate, because again, entrepreneurship can't be a one-man show. We can't be the only ones doing it. And also, there is this thing right now that as entrepreneurs, we program hop. You are on SAB Foundation, you are on Tiger Brands program, you are on another program, 10 programs at the same time. But what if we then decided as the investors in your businesses, we are interested in your business. How do we all talk together and then bring together our investment and support you? Now that investment is intentional. And that's what we do as SAB Foundation is we build partnerships with other corporates and government agencies to provide intentional investment in businesses to drive growth. Next slide. So we do it in 3. So we are quite programmatic in how we deliver our offerings. We've got 3 areas that we focus on. It's the social innovation area, which we work from ideation to growth phase. We've got programs that we run in the university space. So you would have seen EDHE in a few weeks ago, where students, entrepreneurs were innovating and pitching their ideas. We support that program. We've got the SAB Foundation Social Innovation Awards, which we take on entrepreneurs annually. And in that program, we have investment of up to 1.3 million in grant investment for entrepreneurs. So top 1 wins 1.3 million, but everyone else, I think we take about 20 businesses, they've got investment that they get in, whether it's 100,000 rand, 300,000 rand, but there's an investment element that comes in to help you build your business. And post this, once you've received this investment, you can also access further investment, because once you've received the initial investment to build your innovation, you go out to market and then you prove traction, you build your business, you still need further funding, you can come in and accelerate and access the social innovation fund as an alumni. So this is a fund for alumni in the social innovation program. I actually spoke to some guy earlier on who was our winner for 2020. They won the 1.3 million rand, and he was part of this session today. So they exist. They're not, aliens. They exist. There are people who have benefited. Then the second part is what I do. So I look after the entrepreneurship development portfolio. And again, we operate from ideation to growth. At seed stage, we work with people that are just starting out. So I just have an idea, I'm excited. What do I do? So we help you to ideate, validate, and launch a business with our partners, Social Next and Mode, who help us build this program, and with the intention to build pipeline for the Tulwana Enterprise Program, which is really what I'm here to encourage you to do today, is apply. It's currently open until the 20th of September. And what that program entails, like I said, it's an 18-month program. We take on 60 businesses annually. And in each of the business, so you are not competing for 250,000 rand. All the businesses that come into the Tulwana program, post probation, 3 months probation, because guess who post probation, you have access to 250,000 rand that you can use in your business, whether it's to buy equipment, whether it's to bring in resources, whatever it is, you can engage with, and you have a one-on-one mentor that you work with for the duration of the program. And again, it's not a mentor to tick a box. So you literally design a strategy with your mentor and you agree on certain milestones that you want to achieve, and then for the duration of the program you execute. So you're literally working on your business when you're in that program. Businesses that we have supported have grown 200-300% post our programs, and that's really what we measure, because you can't measure how many training people have gone to When it does not change the bottom line, it means the training was not valuable. Make sense? So that's what I do. And then we've got the alumni network. So like I said, we walk the journey and we never kind of let go of people. So when you've exited the Tulwana Enterprise Program in 18 months, you join our alumni network where you again have access to further support, whether it's market, whether it's funding, whether it's just opportunities to interact and engage with other entrepreneurs or partners that we work with. So the alumni network is set up for that. And we've got 3 strategic projects that we do in the agri space in particular, where we support big scale commercialization farming for Black entrepreneurs. So that's really us in a nutshell. From a foundation perspective, I'm sure you can go to the next slide. I think it's the last slide. So yeah. So our mission really is to invest and support the development of businesses so that you guys can become viable, growing, and sustainable, so that you can partner with us and help us create jobs. And that's how we solve the triple threat challenges. So if you're keen and if you feel like you are the business, we want to partner with you. Last slide. Yeah, so this I'm not going to go through, but it just shows you the impact of what we have done so far. Since we started, we've invested over 425 million rand. In grant funding, we've given out 295 million in grant funding, so money that you don't have to pay back. You just need to build a business that works. Right? So that's really us. And again, you can see our national footprint in terms of where we are and what we've done, the number of jobs we've created, and help sustain through partnerships, because internally we don't create the jobs. You guys create the jobs. So when you see this number 9,000, it's not us, it's you guys, entrepreneurs, that are helping us build these businesses and create these jobs. Yes, we are. I'm sure they can share the presentation with you if you're interested in the numbers, but you can also find it in our website. It's there. The Tulwana program, 60 entrepreneurs. I'm here to encourage you. Apply. And you'll be dealing with me. You'll be working with me. So apply. We take on 60 businesses. We get so currently we are open and we have over 5,000 applications to date of people that have applied, and we need to choose 60. Kunzima, guys. Kunzima. But it's important once you are in, and don't be discouraged by the number that, but Bazo choose a 60 and they see 5,000. Make sure that you are the 60. Put an application that makes sure that you are the 60 that gets chosen. We've invested in the Tulwana program alone, we've invested 168 million in businesses. We have supported 502 entrepreneurs currently. And this is just as a 2020. This is not 21. And we are still in 2022. So these numbers have already changed. Collectively, our entrepreneurs in the Tulwana program employ 2,442 people. And they generate an annual revenue estimate between 210 to 326 million collectively. Imagine if we can get one to make 200 million. That will be a success story. But already the fact that they are making money, we are in the millions, it's a success on its own. The next slide is just the qualifying criteria. You can find this on the website. We are open until the 20th of September. Please do apply. I'm going to stop right here and take on questions if you have questions. And yeah, so I think I still have a few minutes. 2 questions. Okay, so I have 2 questions. 1, 2. No one has a question.
Hi. Well, my question is, what if SAB is already a supplier and now I have a distribution warehouse? What would you provide? I know there's the marketing that you would obviously do, but this is in the alcohol industry. And then the second one is, as a farmer as well, supplying you with sorghum or maize. how does one go about that? No, literally, it's true. Yeah, I can give you my STP number.
So like I said, we are independent. So there is SAB Foundation, independent, and that's me, and that's what we do, the three things that I shared with you. And then you've got SAB Company, and they have their own programs as well. So the first thing is we have to understand what it is that you're looking for, right? So you'd have to be very specific and saying, I'm currently your supplier. This is what I'm looking for. This is my growth challenge and all of those things. And in certain cases, we do collaborate with corporate to say, can we look at this as the foundation as well to partner with the big company to support you? But it has to be a specific ask so that we can deliberate internally to say who can support. Sometimes big corporate can do it on their own. Sometimes they would bring us on board. One last question. You really don't have questions? When I put Nyazo was Alex. And put me Alex, guys. Hola.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
My question is, I'm a small scale farmer, so I want to know that if I want funding from your institution, from SAB Foundation, where must I go? Because first of all, I don't have a registered business plan that I have because I'm a small scale farmer, and a business plan is something that is complicated for me so far. You understand? Because you can find that you have a business plan with all the details, but you find that the place that I'm farming. So you understand? So I have to balance everything. So I want to understand that. Can you still give someone funding in terms of not being registered?
E-registration doesn't mean you're in business. Big difference. The fact that you're not registered doesn't mean you're not in business. Are you trading? Are you making money? Sure, you're in business. Now the next step is to help you, because going forward, if you want to access opportunities, obviously you need to think about formalization of your business. But it doesn't mean you're not a business. And there's a myth around business plans and do I want one, do I need one, whatever. You don't need a 100-page business plan. That's very complex. But you still need a plan. You need a 1-page plan. You need a few-page plan that tells you, number one, what is it that I'm doing? How am I doing this? Why do I exist? What is it that I do? All these things you need to answer, and a plan can help you answer those things. There are simple plans that you can use, pick up anywhere. So I'm a facilitator and I run training programs specifically for that. 1 page, you tell your story, and that you need. You can't shy away from it. And if you can't explain and understand your business, no one will. But you not having a registered businesses will not disqualify you. Apply for the Tulwana program if you are operating. So I don't want an idea for Tulwana. If you have an idea, you're on the seed program. For Tulwana, you must be generating money, and it's cheap, man, guys. If you're at least generating 5,000 a month, how you can get in. And you guys are generating more than that. And it's Akir. Okay, guys, my time is up. So yeah, so apply for the Tulwana program, www.sabfoundation.co.za. Yo, you guys are quiet. And food mali kamampela yazi. Can I just take one last question? One last question. Okay, cool.
All right, morning, guys. My name is Lusapo Kobizembe. I want to ask when I'm Muguti. From us, those guys from Transkei, do you give us a mentors, because those things they are from us, they are happening on this side of a Joburg or KZN. They on the rural areas do not get any mentors and trainings. How do you assist us with the trainings and the stuff?
Jonga, see everywhere. Napho uphuma khona sikhona. And our mentors too have been strategically positioned to be in the areas that you are in. So we've got entrepreneurs in the Eastern Cape, in the rurals of Eastern Cape, deep bakhona. Because this program has been designed to go there. The intention has always been to go there. Like I said, we have designed a program intentionally to target the marginalized. And hambo apply sayibona indaba yakho sharp.